Welcome to another episode of Black Men Carpool. I'm your host today, Black Wax, and I got my brother Zay. What's going on, man?
What's up, big dog?
Man, this is a little different. We're recording in the middle of the morning.
I know, right? Early bird got the coffee popping.
Got the coffee popping.
Yeah, instead of the cocktails, the coffee.
We got a guest today.
Yeah, man.
I've been feeling the cold shoulder. We had a couple of guests that counsel on us, Black Men Carpool ain't about nothing. What's up with that?
Well, we here and we're gonna change all that rhetoric.
Yeah. So this is episode number 81, and it's always cool to record. It's always fun to get together and to break bread, have a drink, and have stimulating conversation.
Yeah.
And on that note, we have a special guest today.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give some background, if you don't mind. So this young man, this brother, is a middle child, raised in a military home, has two other siblings. He attended at HBCU, Grambling State University. Yeah, he's been married for 8 years. He has a 4-year-old son.
Yeah, man.
And he started and built over 20 businesses. It's like a serial entrepreneur.
Whoa.
Right there, huh?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do to get that success.
He enjoys mentoring and teaching, and he loves all forms of liberal arts.
Yeah.
Now, I see him all the time at church, working with the youth, and so, the kids really enjoy his mentorship.
Yeah, man.
And to go back even further, about a decade ago, I met Ahmad Rashad Simmons on the scene, right? So I was working for a newspaper, had my camera out, doing my photojournalism thing. At night, I'm doing my spoken word poetry thing. I'm single, I'm living a good life. And Ahmad Rashad, I see him at this event. We kind of talk, get to know each other, see him another event, event. Found out this brother was working at the radio station, K104, legendary K104. He was on the radio, spinning records, speaking well. And now, 10 years later, here we are, living in the suburbs, married, got kids, and trying to figure out what the next move is going to be.
Man. So without further ado, Ahmad Rashad.
Ahmad Rashad.
Man, who declines to come to this show, man?
I don't know.
I don't know.
People down, bro.
That's what I'm trying to understand that. Dude, this is Black Man Carpool,
Man, I feel like 50 Cent, man. Go get the strap.
Get the strap. Hashtag get the strap.
We've
been going 2 years strong, almost 3 years strong, man.
Yeah. So Ahmad Rashad, man, he kind of read off your resume, but tell us what you're passionate about.
Man, my passion is life, bro. I like to open up for just anything, man. That's funny, man. I just overcame another level of fear in the last year or so, and since last summer, I think I'm more passionate about just living a free life, and I never experienced it to the way that I'm experiencing it now, man. So fear is a liar. And then once you start to overcome and there's different levels of fear,
Sure.
So I have another level that I'm looking at, I need to jump off this ledge too,
Okay.
But yeah, so it's that's where I'm at right now. I'm just living a blessed life.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Will Smith, he accomplished another level of fear. He was for his 50th birthday.
Yeah.
He went and bungee jumped from a helicopter into a canyon.
Yeah.
I don't know where the canyon is.
It was the Grand Canyon. Yeah, he jumped into the Grand Canyon.
Okay, yeah. And so if you've I skydove before.
Oh, yeah?
But, it's only 20 minutes of adrenaline rush, and then kind of after everything, it's just kind of, okay, I want to get on the ground.
Yeah.
However, to bungee jump from a helicopter into an open canyon, so if this thing snaps, it's a wrap, It's it's great knowing Big Willie, because he ain't coming back from this one.
Right.
But man, that is one of my next goals, because for some reason I'm an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, okay.
And when I reach a milestone in my life, in my career, in my business, that's something that I want to do. So I really take my hat off to you for really facing your fears and going after it, because fear is a liar. And the more times that you face fear, the more times that you're able to defeat it.
Yeah.
You just have to continue failing forward.
Absolutely.
So good job, man.
I'm not on that level where I'm skydiving, man. I might go to flying across the street over here. I'm still praying for that, But maybe one day I can get to that.
Baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps. Adrenaline rush, man. Like if I'm going faster than 80 miles per hour, bro, I'm sitting there clenching my seatbelt.
All right. I can respect that.
Yeah, man. I don't do any of that.
Let me chime in. So, man, we're so much on the same wavelength here, man. Because, like Sunday, something really stuck out to me. I was at church, and this lady had a shirt. It said "Faith or Fear."
Yeah,
so that's a cool T-shirt. And I got to think about it for a while. Fear is not really a big part of my vocabulary. I hardly even address it. No. And I'm trying to figure out, like some people they talk about it a lot. Some people they deal with it. For me,
right.
I'm not gonna say I'm the most fearless person in the world, but it's just not really a big part of my vocabulary.
So you can jump out of a plane, like right now?
I mean, I would need to train.
Suit them up. Get them suited.
So I don't tempt death.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
So I mean, skydiving, it'd be cool to do one day.
Okay.
I definitely, would have to take the class, go through training, all the steps, what have you. But if it's me jumping out of a plane versus, me not living, I'm definitely jumping out of the plane.
Yeah, of course.
If that plane is in good condition,
exactly.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I ain't jumping out of a good plane, bro.
One thing that I've learned is that me really pushing myself out of my comfort zone.
Exactly. That's what I do.
Is that fear is automatically going to be there.
Yeah.
Because it's territory.
Absolutely.
You have, when you get out of your comfort zone, there is a comfort level that you leave. So therefore, there's that unknown, which causes fear.
Right.
And so, in order for that fear not to be so intense that it paralyzes you, it always helps if you have a mentor, whatever that arena looks like.
Right.
And so, starting a new business, if that doesn't really spark a fear in somebody, then they don't really know what they're getting into.
Right.
Because
and I've been there before. I don't mean to cut you off.
No.
So I guess I've already overcome that initial level of launching out and getting out of my comfort zone. Continue, please.
Yeah. And so, any venture that you get into that you're not familiar with, there's a little apprehension there, like for the first time playing basketball or, trying out for a team and the possibility of getting cut, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, those are things that if you have a mentor in that arena and someone who can help you out there, you're still going to fail. But when you're failing, people can sit back and the expert, per se, can say, hey, the reason why you failed there is to do this. So next time you're in that situation, do this again. Because the more times that you face your fear, the more times that you're going to get over it. But then as you adjust, it becomes fun now.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, so I'm in boxing right now. And so I'm learning how to box.
Nice.
And the more that I go in there and the more that I can actually compete with the guys who have been there and boxed before, the funner it gets.
Right.
Because I'm not afraid anymore. At first, coming out there with a black guy, it's like, man, I don't even know if I want to step back in the ring with these guys. However, you have a coach there to be like, look, man, the reason why you got that black guy is because you ducked your head.
Right.
If you don't drop your head and you just move a little bit, then you're going to be okay.
Right.
And so go back in there, there's still that apprehension. And, even though you still may fail, you have that regimen and that blueprint to work on in order to, again, get to where you want to go.
Gotcha.
So, to learn that skill or whatever.
Yep, that's what's up, man. That's how I feel, too, man. It's like, I feel like I'm kind of enjoying life. Like you said, like, once you overcome a fear, you start to have fun. Yeah. So, like, this last year of my life, I'm actually having like the most fun. I feel like I'm like I'm 15, 16 years old all over again.
Good, man.
So like it's a really cool experience right now, man. So it's good analogy with your boxing, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's kind of like an analogy king.
Bars. Yeah, man.
I got them bars. I got the shirt on my chest, baby.
Hashtag step your analogy game up. So let's talk about these 20 businesses that you started. How did that happen?
Yeah, let's go back to my depressing moments in life. All right, so yeah, man. So like one of the first businesses I started was was actually we started a record company.
Right.
It was called Final Cause Entertainment. That sounds Islamic, doesn't it? Right. Shout out to my Muslim brothers.
Yeah.
So it was Final Cause, Kauz. My younger sister actually came up with the name. Me and my big homie at the time, man, he's in DC doing his thing, so we came up with Final Cause Entertainment. He was the producer, I was the rapper. I was going by the Solstice Yedaya, aka the Phoenix, you know, and we were going to this one guy's backyard. He had a shed. And and he was, we did the production. He had the recording studio. Like this is like the early independent artists. Like this is before independent anything was like popping. So we were doing this like in the '90s. So we were also like throwing parties in the neighborhood and stuff like that. And so that's how I kind of got into the vibe of like, you know what, I think I could be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because we really organized that really well. We had artists, we're bringing in, we're doing parties, and it was just a really cool deal that what we were doing, man. So after that, man, I was just like, I always stayed in the music game, but then I started getting involved with like different type of business ventures, like, I mean, everything from MLMs, affiliate links before they even became popular, what are those? I don't even know what they're called now, but they're like if you had like a link and you put it on the website and you click on the link, and if they buy something, you get like a commission from it.
Yeah, that's affiliate link or click to pay to click.
Pay to click. This is like before it was like major popular. I had signed in with Dish Network. They were one of the first ones to do it. And so what I did was, this was like business number 4, by the way. And so my mother helped me like print out all of these flyers, and I had all the, again, I didn't know anything about the internet, so I had all these, the affiliate links is like, if you've seen an affiliate link, it's like long. 65 characters long, but I printed all these flyers out, thinking everybody, I'm putting them on apartment doors. I had like 1,000 of these sheets, and I went to like multiple apartments, right, and I'm just, boom, putting them on the doors, right, with this affiliate link on there, like call Dish Network. I'm like, Mom, I'm about to get rich, right? I'm about to make it, man. My business number 4 is gonna make it, So I go back and I check online, like, later on that night, thinking I got some signups, 0. I said, okay, I'm gonna check the next day, 0. A week later, 0. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, why isn't anyone typing in HTTPS / all those characters, and it's just like business number 1. Like, I learned that lesson. Ain't nobody gonna type in no web address, especially if it's gonna be that long. So I've been like started different businesses, and then one time, man, like business number like 18, I started this one company called ARS Worldwide Entertainment, and that one right there, I had learned so many mistakes that when I did ARS Worldwide Entertainment, that one right there was like my baby. This was when I was back in the music industry, and I had created it was a media marketing management firm for independent artists. Again, coming back to that independent deal, and I was above the curve. This was again before independent artists was really figuring it out. So I was connecting the dots, and but that business right there lasted for about 3 years. And then at that moment, I said, I found it. I figured it out. And the only reason why Arsui did not do so well was because of the recession. People were starting losing their homes. Right. And then that's business lesson number 6,000, whatever, It's like, like that was a business that just was not successful because of the economy, the circumstances, but it was a great business. And I learned a lot. I had a team of like 15 people that I never even met. That I had hired them. Like this is like remote, working from home and all that. This is all new. Like this wasn't popping at the time, And people were like selling for me and stuff like that. I had them in different demographics. It was crazy, man. Like I was doing something real special. And I learned a lot, But I had a lot of fear still then, So now I'm like a business number 100 and something.
Cool. That's fine. So in school they don't really teach you how to start your own business. They teach you to be employees and how to be good employees, be good sheep, what have you. And so when you start learning about entrepreneurship, it's like you have to unlearn and relearn a whole different way of thinking.
Yeah.
You know, so just like Zay said earlier, you have to learn how to fail forward. You know, the average entrepreneur is going to fail the first 3 or 4 businesses. That's just, you know, part of business. Right. It's part of learning. I also was listening to this podcast. This venture capitalist, he invested into this company, and after about a year or so, he knew the company was going to fail. He didn't treat the business owner any different. Right? He supported him, he helped him, he coached him, and once his business failed, he's like, okay, good. Get it out of your system so we can move on to the next business.
Exactly.
I mean, it takes a lot of capital to be able to, be able to stomach that kind of loss. But it kind of changed my whole thinking. Like, you know, that venture capitalist, he believed in that guy more than he believed in the business. He just needed him to get that out of his system so we can move on to the next great idea. That's you know, and so that's interesting to me how, you know, you're very persistent. You just keep moving forward and connecting the dots, and now you're here now. And after you've learned so much about how not to do business, what works, what doesn't work.
It's like a business no different than like you having a career. It's like if you have a job and you're on the ground floor, let's say like you could come in as like a customer service representative. You know, in about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, you'll grow, and then you become, you know, a supervisor, manager, VP, CEO, whatever, right? If you want to go on that trajectory. The same thing about becoming an entrepreneur. Most people don't understand that. It's like you're going through that same steps of climbing a ladder of success. So when you first start your business, you are like a rep, you know, you're on the same level, you don't have any experience. But if you continue doing it in about 10 years, if it takes that long for you, some people can get there sooner than others, but you get to a point where it's like, you know what, I've learned a lot about the industry of running a business. You see what I'm saying? So then you know what to do. You know how to lead better. You know how to cut your costs. You learn how to do a budget. You know how to make the dollar stretch. You'll know how to say no. You know what I'm saying? You know how to take your ideas. Like right now, I finally learned how to get out of my seat and talk to people. Like, you know, I'm an introvert in my natural state. So now I'm okay with getting out and meeting people face to face and being confident and bold, you know? So those things you learn and you grow. It's just like any other job, you know. But a lot of people who are what I call realists, what the realists do is they don't see your vision. So because an entrepreneur is a visionary, they see the different steps. But the realist only sees you where you are, and that's really your true antagonist. It's like it's yourself is number one, and then number two is realist. You know, so the realists are the ones that's going to be telling you that you can't do this, you can't do that, you know, why don't you quit, yada, yada, yada. So really you're trying to prove yourself wrong in those realists.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that perspective. Absolutely. That's awesome. I have a couple questions for you, man, because you're a very interesting guy. So take for instance, if you have a little cousin or someone that you really, you know, hold near and dear to your heart, you was going to give them advice about entrepreneurship, what would that single nugget be to set them on a path to where they could avoid backsetting themselves in the future?
Because that happens all the time. So the main, this is it right here. Set your goal years in advance. So let's say if you want to start a fashion business, most people say if I don't have success within 3 months, then I'm going to give it up. But no, you need to say, I'm going to give myself 7 years. So set your goal far out. So, and then you say, I'm going to make sure I make some progress every 3 months. Just a little bit of progress. I'm going to make some progress. Let me get my website up. Let me get my email address correctly. Let me go find the fabric. You know, then you just create little steps that you can do within that 7-year period.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
So you can't eat all the elephant at once. You got to chop it up in little pieces.
But see, everyone here is trying to make that money within the year that they said. It's January 1st. Happy New Year. I'm going to start a business and I'm going to quit my job by the end of this year. No, you need to stretch, you know, whatever. You need to go further than that. You know? So when I started Power 77, and I made it official and said, hey, this is my business. I told my wife, I said, look, if I don't make any money with my business in 3 years, then I'm not going to do it. But I have a goal for 7 years on where I want to go with the business.
Absolutely.
Right? And then I have like small milestones that I set myself. So, for example, I may say, I want to increase my listenership by 10% in 3 months. You know, stuff like that that's achievable, that's going to keep you feeling like you're doing something well.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, because if what I've noticed is if I set my goals too high in a shorter amount of period, obviously I'm not going to make it.
Right.
But then it kind of wears on my self-worth. And it's
Right.
like, you know, I'm kind of not as confident as I was beforehand.
Right.
Well, because you got to chop it down a little bit. You know?
Right.
I mean, eventually you're going to get there, but you can't just put that hard line in the sand and say 3 months. You got some growing to do. You got some respect to go get.
Right.
You got some failing to do.
Right.
And so you can't. So with these big goals, you can't just draw a line in the sand. And this is especially where a coach comes in at.
Yes.
They can give you the perspective that
Right.
you need. Like, look, bro, I understand where you're coming from, and I appreciate your candor, and
Right.
I appreciate your eagerness. However, we got some growing to do.
Right, right.
Anyhow, man, that enough about that subject.
No, I want to kind of add in because you
yeah.
said something that made me think. It's like when you said, like, you know, people give themselves a short time span to do whatever, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why is because of here's something else to think about. It's if you had $1 million, then you probably could grow fast in 3 to 6 months, right? Because you can take that money and that money's going to do the work for you.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you don't have the capital to do something, that's why you expand your time, because you have to say, okay, what kind of work that I have to put in to make it feel like I put in $1 million worth of investment, right? So like if your grunt work, your actual action.
Yeah.
So if I had like $1 million, right? What does that look like for me to spend that in my physical work action?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, because I have a kid, I have family, you know, et cetera, it's like I have to stretch that out.
Yeah.
I can't put in $1 million worth of work in 3 months.
Yeah,
See what I'm
it's
saying?
not possible, right? And that's,
Right.
and that's where that separate perspective comes
Right.
from. And I just noticed that in that realm, you want to have the right perspective. Someone who
Right.
has the fruit on the tree that you want.
Right,
Compared
right.
to, friends and family who don't have that fruit on the tree and see the work that you have to do and be like, man, Ahmad, you really want to go that route? You have to spend this much time, and you got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to talk to people.
Right,
you
right.
want to be coaching with someone who's done that. It's like, bro,
Right.
if you do this, you're gonna be where I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, in my opinion, life is about pulling somebody who wants to be Ahmad Rashad and pulling them to be Ahmad Rashad,
Right.
but also pulling yourself to wherever Ahmad Rashad wants to go.
Right.
Because Ahmad Rashad wants to go somewhere, and that person who is there, you just gotta lean on them.
Right.
And it's a process of being pulled and pulling someone
Right,
else.
right.
And so, man, just going back to what you said, it's just
You gotta set the
beautiful
right,
thing.
you gotta set the right perspective.
Yeah.
I want to get into a little bit of a controversy here.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
The last 5 minutes.
Make sure you email them with your issues. Don't look for me.
So, I was working at a newspaper,
Yeah.
right? North Dallas Gazette, working directly with the publisher. And he was an independent owner of this weekly newspaper. And I learned so much from him. So he told me this story once, that he was trying to get advertisement from this company, from like a radio, well, not radio, but like an electronics store.
Okay.
And, he, every month followed up. The guy finally, did some business with him. And then after about a year or so, he told my publisher, he's like, "Oh, you still doing the paper?" He's like, "Yeah."
Okay.
He's like, "I thought you would have given up by now."
Oh yeah.
He's like, "Well, why would you say that?" I said, "Well, most black people, if they don't receive a check every Friday, they quit."
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean.
How do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but no, that's a different part of the brain, because African Americans, or just Americans that just happen to be have African descent,
Right.
however you feel like, it's the
Right.
change of the culture, the change of the times.
Right.
Just
I'm
call
so
me,
black.
yeah. Just call me black,
You
right?
call me Negro. It don't bother me.
Yeah, all right, cool. All right, so the African Negro. All right, so But that is dealing with what we're already accustomed to is instant gratification. That's just us as a people. We feel like, we've been held back for so long that we as a culture, we no longer want to wait for it. We feel like, we've already suffered as a people, and it's like, nah, I think we should just get, a lump sum, like right now, and give us our 40 acres and a mule. The Jews, they got their reparations. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're still hurt as a body of people, where we feel like we were done wrong coming into this country, and what the country has done to us is nickel and dimed us back to freedom. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we didn't get our promise, if you will. So what America is saying is, yeah, you know what, we did, do the affirmative action. We did give you this, we did give you that. We're giving you jobs. Yeah, but it's like you're just kind of like, spreading it out over 200, 300 years. It's like, yeah, we're going to get there, but you're not giving it to us all at once. So I feel like that's why we want that instant gratification. It's built into our brains. We're not a lazy people. We're not. We're just pissed off. So because of that, and it's coming from a right place, it's just now being misdirected. It's now being misdirected. It's kind of like if you're driving a car and it's a wet road and you're trying to dodge the mist from hitting something, and then you try to swerve back over, and then you end up crashing. Because your attempt to swerve back around to correct yourself, you end up overcorrecting, and then exactly. So that's what we're doing now as a people is now we're overcorrecting ourselves. So now we're going to the point where our instant gratification is becoming negative. Because of how we've been held back for so long, it's bleeding over into something where we shouldn't be impatient. Where we need to be patient and it's just a bad trait that we inherited. Of us just trying to correct ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So, if that makes sense.
So this person who was told this, was it like his side business that he was selling newspapers or whatever, or like?
No, my publisher, he retired pretty young. Before 40, and so he started a new venture. Running the newspaper. And he's still running it today. When newspapers are not as popular. It's not the most popular form of media. But he just won't give it up because now he's at a point where I spent 20 years. I'm like, I'm not going to just let it go.
No, it's your passion.
It's his baby.
But
he has other ventures as well, too.
And really, the guy who commented on that, just kind of how the Megyn Kelly thing we were speaking of just a little bit earlier, I really feel that's just a miseducation, because most people, when they go out and they have to book their own business, when you don't have that job to where it's going to give you a base pay, it's easy for people to give something up because we don't know. Most people don't know how to go out and build something for themselves. They will always lean on the government. They'll always lean on a corporation to pay them a dollar amount. So therefore, they go in there. I do my 8 hours. I do whatever I do. I clean. I make phone calls. Whatever that looks like. I get paid for 8 hours and that amount of money. Most people don't know what it looks like to build something for themselves and to actually move that on to something that's a legacy. To pass on to their children. Because that's very hard. It's hard to go out and to get out of your comfort zone and talk to people, because at the end of the day, if you don't know how to build a solid brand, you can't get somebody to follow you. And so once you build a solid brand, then it's second nature. But most people are gonna rely on a paycheck. So it's not just a fact of it's not even a fact. It's not a scenario of most people quit. Most black people quit due to instant gratification. It's just people in general, and it's how you're educated. If your family retired from AT&T and everyone and their mom is executives, then it's obvious that you may want to go that route because you've seen the fruit on the tree. However, at the end of the day, AT&T is not gonna say, hey, you know, just because you retired as an executive, let's bring in your nephew or your grandson and let's put him at this top level. We're going to go ahead and give him riches forever. It don't work that way.
No.
So when you go out and you build your own business and you go out and you do something like that, it's easy to give up because it's really hard and it really gets you out of your comfort zone.
Right.
So therefore, I don't feel, for one, I feel the guy who said that was very uneducated. Again,
Absolutely,
that miseducation of what it looks like to build your own business compared to really that instant gratification, because that's really what it is.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I like what you're saying, and I like going back to miseducation. I think a lot of people are just sincerely misinformed, and some people just want to stay ignorant. Some people just want to stay unaware.
Because it's comfortable.
Yes.
Because it's comfortable.
Yeah.
I got cousin. You know, I'm not gonna go there.
We
gotta cut this.
Like,
short, but, I mean, I have family members who do things to where they feel like they're winning. They feel like they're winning. It's like, I don't have my own house. I'll just stay with someone else and wait till they die off, and then I'll have their house. It's like, bro, that's not your house.
Right,
you didn't build that foundation. You know what I'm saying? Go out and get your own. When people have to go out and fend for their own, it's very scary because not a lot of people are equipped to go out there and to be that hunter like we used to be back in the day, where we go out and if you ain't killing nothing out there,
you're not eating.
Yeah,
you're not eating.
And so nowadays, a lot of people are accustomed to that instant gratification of every 2 weeks I'm going to get a paycheck, and to leave that, most people get capsulated into the I got debt now. How can I go out and start my own job? I got a kid. I got a house. I got a mortgage. And again, it's about, in my opinion, the earlier you start to learn how to hunt, the more that you pass on that trait to your kids and everyone else. And so therefore, you won't ever have to lean on someone else to go hunt for you or to give you food. You could go out there and hunt for yourself. However, it's time. You have to be able to learn how to hunt to really build something for yourself, or else you're always leaning on someone else to hunt for you.
Yeah, I like that, man. I guess we have a part 2 coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap this one up, but we definitely need a part 2 because I got several more questions I want to ask.
All right.
So, Rashad, 2 things. Tell us a little bit more about Power 77, and also tell us how we can follow you and find you online, and then we'll let you get your day further progress. I got time out there.
Yeah, I'm taking my son to the library today.
Oh, so. Beautiful.
All right, so Power 77 is pretty much is a family-friendly organization. We provide positive music, inspirational Christian hip-hop, etc. And our events are catered to families as well. So it's just all about happy homes. At the end of the day, we just want to create happy homes, man. And you can always just Google Power 77. We own it. It's our own brand.
Yeah.
You know, exactly, man. And
own your own media.
That's it, bro. And we have shirts, and some people are like, "Hey, man, how come you don't just put the website on the shirt?" I said, "Because you can just Google Power 77, and it's gonna pop up. You know, like if you Google Sony, you Google Tommy Hilfiger, it's gonna show up, and that's the same. That's the essence that we wanted with our brand. Again, learning 7,000 different mistakes. God has been good, man. So you could just type in Power 77. It's going to pop up. It's #1. We have our own app. You can check it out through the website and all that. So we're all set to go, man. We're doing it.
Awesome. Zay, you got any closing comments?
Man, I just want to thank you for being here, man. It's awesome honored, sharing with you, man. It's been a long time coming. Dwayne's been talking really high of this, so man, my shout out goes to Ahmad Rashad, man.
Hey, no doubt about that. This has been episode number 81, Black Man Carpool. My co-host, special guest Ahmad Rashad Simmons. Definitely find him, Power 77, on all platforms, and definitely you can find us #Black Man Carpool, and tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Until next time, peace.
Yeah, man.